Hi there, I'm Rebecca. I'm the Managing Director of Fountain. At Fountain, we take an approach that because we're selling services, everything we do here in terms of running the business is trying to build an environment where people can do their very best work. You can talk about staff culture or team culture and that, there's a lot of really fluffy and lovely things to say about it, but actually at the end of the day, it's really good business, because if we can create an environment where people thrive, they'll do their best work, which at the end of the day is the best thing for our clients. In 2017, we made the shift to a non-hierarchical structure for our business. And the reason we did that was because we were growing really quickly. And we went from being a team of 13 people who all knew each other really well, got on with each other, there was a lot of friendships outside of work, that kind of thing, to a team that suddenly was up to, there's now 42 of us. So going on that growth journey, we didn't want to lose the things that were really important to us in terms of collaborative working, supporting each other, and all of those things that gave us a real family feel. And there was a moment where we, as directors, looked at our growth and realised that we might need to hire in a team of middle managers, and it just felt like it wasn't the right thing for our business. So we started doing a lot of research. One of the main books that inspired me was called Holacracy. Another one was called Reinventing Organisations. And they take the approach of looking at hierarchy as something that we actually don't need in business. That if we treat our team members as the adults that they are, who want to take ownership, who want to take responsibility, who want to do their very best work, and then we build a structure around accountability, where we're asking people to be accountable to their team members, to their clients, and then to the business as a whole, you can actually build a structure that works a lot more fluidly than that sort of traditional hierarchical pyramid. So the way that Fountain works now, we have a pod structure. So it's not that we've got rid of structure, we've just got rid of hierarchy within that structure. So it's all based on people supporting each other. So people with different skills, because obviously on our team there are people with different levels of experience and also different responsibilities of what they're looking after. But the non-hierarchical structure means that everything is built on people supporting each other and using their skills and their expertise to make sure that everyone else in the team is able to achieve the same level of output for the clients that they would if they were doing it themselves. Implementing the pod structure has meant that our clients can benefit from a broad range of experience among our team members, rather than just the experience of the one account manager that they have. So what that means is that people who have in-depth experience, say in attribution or in conversion tracking or in Facebook campaigns rather than PPC campaigns on AdWords, that kind of thing, we can make sure that across the agency people are supported with expertise that for the clients means better outcome at the end of the day. For our team members, the non-hierarchical structure means that they can take ownership of their work, that they're not constantly chasing promotion in a sort of hierarchical way, but instead they're looking to improve their expertise, their depth of knowledge, and then carving a space for themselves where they're actually building their own career based on their passions and interests. Our ideal is to have an agency full of people who are experts rather than an agency full of people who have status because they're managing more and more people. For the company as a whole, one of the things that has been amazing about introducing this flat structure from my point of view is that I've seen every single person across the agency just sort of sit up a little bit straighter and really take responsibility for what they're working on. And I think it means that we end up with a fluidity and expertise and a really interesting way of working where everyone is able to do their very best work. I think the key element to our culture here at Fountain is that people take ownership and then support each other. So it's a space in which you're not being told to do something. There aren't many directives that come in Fountain. It's more about, you have your objectives, which are usually client goals, and then you work towards those in the best way possible, and you have a team of experts to work alongside you. So if you're not quite sure about something, there's always someone you can ask. Or if you have found a really amazing way of doing something and you've demonstrated success, you can go and often do a learning session to your fellow team members and say, hey guys, we should be doing this for all of our clients. There's a lot of ongoing iterative learning here, which I think in an industry like ours, in digital marketing, it's not like there's one way of doing things. It's all about looking for the best way to do things. And our collaborative, learning-based, sharing, supportive culture really means that we end up delivering exceptional services for our clients. One of the things that's really important to me personally as managing director is that I want work to work for people's lives as well as work for the business. And I think one of the things that is really important is to make sure that, for example, we have quite a few parents who work here. We have people who have passions outside of work, like mountain climbing, or we have someone who's a self-defined jazz cat here who loves playing jazz and wants to improve his skills in that area. And from my point of view, I feel like I would be failing as a business owner if I was creating a business that required people to be all in workspace the whole time. So what we want to do is recognise that work is part of life, and people will do their best work when their life is balanced between work and life. So whether that's recognizing that, you know, one of our guys has a 4-month-old baby, they're going to start teething soon. How can we support him as he's supporting his partner and his child through a sort of a tricky phase? Equally, we have someone who does these incredible feats of climbing mountains, and I asked her what she did one weekend, and she said she'd been ice pick climbing on a glacier in Norway. That weekend I had been sat on the sofa watching TV. But if we as a business can support her to achieve those goals that she's setting out to achieve, then at the end of the day, she'll be a happier, thriving employee who will do her very best work. So we look for ways to make sure that life and work can be balanced. We offer flexible working as much as possible. It doesn't always work, and there are times where life and work sort of go a little bit head to head, but if we can create a space where everyone is doing their best in terms of finding that balance, when there are those moments of stress, it's a little bit easier to handle them. In terms of being a fair employer, from our point of view, it's really important that we are aware of our gender pay gap. Now, gender pay gap is one of those things that people are talking about all over the place at the moment, and I think that the very first step for any business is to monitor it, because by monitoring how you're paying men and women, it differently or the same, or like however it is across the board, or other forms of pay gap, you know, based on other forms of diversity, it's just making sure that you're aware of it. And I think that by monitoring it, you end up making decisions which are informed by it, even if you're not sort of 100% consciously doing that. And at Fountain, it's been quite a while now that our gender pay gap has been less than 2% in either direction. At the moment, it's about 3.7% in favour of women. And I don't think we would have been able to achieve that kind of level playing field if it weren't for the fact that we'd been monitoring it really closely from day one. In our service delivery at Fountain, we're always looking for ways to do something differently or do it the best way, rather than just the way that things have always been done. And so we've taken that approach to the way that we run our business as well. We don't necessarily need hierarchy in order to run a business. We don't necessarily need a 9-to-5 working day. We don't necessarily need to have all of these sort of structures in place just because that's the way the business world works. Actually, we can say, no, hierarchical systems aren't always the best for people. Actually, flexibility is what people need in their lives, and we can make those decisions. As a business owner, I feel like I've got the luxury to be able to do that and say, how could we run this business in the best way possible, which is best for our team members, best for our business as a whole and the success of the business in the future, and also best for our clients.